Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to this town hall update. I am speaking with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. Hello, Adam.
Hey, James. Good to see you.
You too. You too. We've got a bunch of topics to cover today, and a little preview of what we will talk about includes ARPA funding and just the latest updates on that, and the upcoming Martin Luther King virtual observance. It will be virtual again this year. And then there's a couple of moves, the IT data center move and also Arlington Alerts, which is the town's mass notification system, is moving to a new vendor. So we'll cover all those topics, but I'd like to begin by asking you to provide us with a COVID-19 update. Surprise.
Yeah, so as the trend has been our last couple conversations, where we're very much still in the thick of it in terms of COVID. I'm sure most folks have been reading the news. We're in the middle of this surge of the Omicron variant. Case counts and hospitalizations continue to rise within the region. They certainly continue to rise locally, far surpassing the amount of case counts we've ever had at any point in the pandemic prior. So we've been, via Health and Human Services, offering testing clinics both to symptomatic members of the public as well as town residents in the early days of the week, hoping to try to stem transmission, as well as offering booster clinics for those in the community who are trying to access booster shots. We've also, within each department, tried to keep our departments fully functional, even though we have more cases within town departments than we've seen in the past. But we've also tried to be safe and structure our operations in a manner in which mitigates transmission as best possible within the office. The good news is the MWRA wastewater tracking, which has been tracing the prevalence of COVID in the region right from the start, was at its highest levels. If you've seen these charts, I mean, off the charts levels for the start of this month. In just the past 2 days, it's now taken a steep decline. So the hope is that we've hit our peak. We're on our way down from the point of view of a number of cases. My understanding is that hospitalizations are a lagging indicator, so we're not entirely out of the woods, but it does seem like there could be some relief coming in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And as we have noted before, Arlington has been a model community in many ways in terms of the percentage of folks who are vaccinated and then boosted, and including our youth population, et cetera. So hopefully, again, we'll find that those hospitalization numbers, are not daunting or alarming. And maybe we're following that same trend that we saw in South Africa originally, and in some other places where it comes on real hard and hopefully leaves quickly as well.
So we hope.
Let's switch over to the economic side of pandemic recovery. We have talked for months about the approximately $35 million of American Rescue Plan Act funding, or ARPA funding, that the town is spending. So I understand that there have been some changes on that front. So can you walk us through those?
Absolutely. So late last week, end of the day Thursday, the federal government issued its final rule about ARPA expenditures for local governments. We had been operating and planning under what was called an interim final rule. Funny phrasing, but that's what it was called. Almost 500-page document came out on Friday, with the top line change being, and we talked about this in the past, we had thought we wouldn't be able to use any ARPA money to offset town revenue loss over the course of the pandemic, based on a number of factors. The final rule has changed the way that is to be calculated and is allowing communities like Arlington to be able to claim up to $10 million in revenue loss without justification. So we'll be able to use up to $10 million of the $35 million allocation to basically help the town's general fund and to support the taxpayer. So that means we will have to edit the framework that we've talked about so many times on this program and at select board meetings and in other venues. So I'll be doing that over the course of the next few weeks. We'll bring that to the board, likely on January 24th, maybe the first meeting in February, to make some revisions to the framework so that we can maximize the benefit to the taxpayer, while also still, I think, making very significant investments in the various categories that have been part of the framework all along.
So it sounds like very good news for us out here in property tax land, and more work for you. Good luck.
Yeah,
with
I mean, I
that.
think it is good news. It's good news that will lead to me having to tell very worthy causes that they're not going to get to spend as much money on those worthy causes. But ultimately, I think as we try to keep a stable budget year over year here in Arlington, it's good news in that regard.
As usual, there you are balancing lots of different interests. Um, some of them, sometimes they align, sometimes they don't. Okay, moving on. I had mentioned there's a couple of moves to talk about. Let's start with Arlington Alerts, and again, that's the mass notification system that applies whenever a kind of emergency or information that needs to go out to the whole community. That's the system that is used. So we've just changed the vendor. What should residents know about that change?
Yeah, so and just to restate what you said, Arlington Alert is the system that can produce emails and text, but is predominantly known as the system that calls you and tells you there's a parking ban or a trash delay, or hopefully in a rare occasion, an extreme emergency that we need to let you know about. We've been on a system called Code Red for a number of years. Through the good work of the Public Information Officer, Joan Roman, we've moved now to a system with a company called Everbridge that provides more usability for both the user and the town, as well as a more cost competitive structure for us as a town over the course of a 3-year contract. So that rolled out yesterday. A series of calls went out to all town residents, alerting them to this change and asking them to set up a profile for within this system. If you didn't get either of those calls yesterday and you're watching this, please go to arlingtonma.gov/connect so that you can register in the system to make sure that you're going to get those calls if anything was to happen. Once this is all set up, it should be pretty seamless, and you should, start getting calls the same way you would have in the past. The way we've used the system in the past. But important to know, this is a time of transition. If you are able to get in there and set up your profile in the system, we would greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for that. Great info. So the other move that we had mentioned is that the town and schools IT data center, and of course IT is information technology, largely invisible work a lot of the time, but absolutely vital to all of us doing the business that we do. So why the move, and what should residents expect from it?
So the why is the IT data center is currently housed at the high school, and we've known for a while now and have planned towards this for quite a while now that data center would not stay in the high school once the new high school was constructed, and that it would be housed at the new DPW facility. So we've come to that point in the high school project where we need to move the data center out so that phase 2 of the high school project can begin in the next few months. And we've worked hard, the DPW team, the construction team, the IT team have worked hard to get that DPW space ready. And now it's ready. So we're going to be moving that data center to what I believe will be its final home at the DPW facility. And that's a big undertaking. There's lots of systems that our IT infrastructure supports. It should happen entirely over the course of this weekend. It does mean that non-emergency town phones will be down. And again, non-emergency town emails will be down. And some other ancillary services that the town supports won't be able to be accessed via the internet. So if you are trying to access something that is of an emergent nature, you can still call the non-emergency dispatch line, 781-643-1212, and or if it's a true emergency, call 911. But emailing town officials for a duration from Saturday to hopefully some point in the day Sunday, you won't be able to get in touch with town officials. But hopefully this will go seamlessly. I have a lot of confidence in the IT team and their planning to put this together. But this should be hopefully a once-in-a-generation move that has this type of operational impact. Absolutely,
and small cost to pay. Non-access for 24 to 48 hours in order to facilitate such a complicated and ambitious move. So let's hope it all goes smoothly. All right. Lastly, Adam, I just want to ask you about we're coming up this coming Monday on Martin Luther King Observance, and this will be the second time in a row, of course, that it's virtual for obvious reasons. Just give us a sense of what the event is meant to be, and what just what your thoughts are.
So, I mean, I'll start by saying every year, certainly before the pandemic, this was probably my favorite event to attend at Town Hall. It's truly a community event. You know, it's not, the town's part of it, but it's not led by the town. It's led by members of the community. And it truly is a celebration of the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as a connection to the town and good work done by folks living in this town, working in this town to promote issues of equity and justice. So this year, as you mentioned, it will be virtual once again. And I urge anybody who has the time to either tune into the virtual event when it's first broadcast or watch it later. I'm pretty sure ACMi will be carrying it. It's just an uplifting event that, in a time of a lot of darkness and a lot of questioning about what the future holds, I've always found to be very uplifting, inspirational, and hopefully prompts you to think about your year ahead and actions you can take to be part of making Arlington a better community.
Couldn't agree with you more, Adam. Our local schedule every year filled with lots of interesting and fun and wonderful events in their own right. This is an absolute gem. I've been lucky enough to attend such things myself over 10 times. Wonderful, wonderful experience. And yeah, let's tune in one more time via our computers and screens, et cetera, and then keep fingers crossed. We'll be back in business in 2023.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks very much for your time, as always, Adam. Appreciate it. Lots to share today, and I'm sure the audience loves hearing straight from you what the story is. I have been speaking, of course, with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. This has been Town Hall Update. We thank Adam very much for his time, and we thank you for yours. Tune in next time as well. I'm James Milan. Thanks for joining us.